All right, today we're going to work on Unit 2, Lesson 5, Part B. We have to be sure we can factor before we can move forward. So this is a quick review of factoring. It says to factor completely, and then we're going to find the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, so I like to use box method. You really can do this a couple of ways. When they get more complicated, I like box method. When I'm looking at them and there's nothing in front of the squared term, that means there's a 1 there, okay? So if a equals 1, because these are all in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, if that number in front of the squared term is 1, meaning there's nothing there, okay, I can factor them pretty easy on my own. I don't have to have the box. Okay, so to get m squared, I must have m times m. So we're just undoing the FOIL method. And then I read it backwards. I'm going to say factors of 24 that subtract to give me 2. Let me say that again. Factors of 24 that subtract to give me 2. So that means I must be looking for 6 and 4. So 6 and 4 subtract to give me 2. Okay? And they're factors of 24. Now I need that 6 and that 4 together have to give me a positive 2. So I must have a plus 6 and a negative 4. All right, then I can just solve both of those. M plus 6 equals 0, m minus 4 equals 0. And I get my zeros. Subtract 6. Add the 4, m equals negative 6 or positive 4. Those are my two zeros. What that means is that's where the graph would cross the x-axis. Okay, let's try another one here. Okay, so again, the a value is 1 because there's nothing in front of the squared term. So I'm just going to go after factoring it. So I got x and x to give me x squared. Factors of 24 that add up to negative 4. Factors of 24 that add up to negative 4. There are no factors of 24 that add up to negative 4. So like I'm thinking 1 and 24, that adds up to 25. 2 and 12, that adds up to 14. 3 and 8, that adds up to 11. 4 and 6, that's 10. And they just switch order from there. Okay? None of the factors of 24 add up to 4. So I would say this is prime, and we will solve that later with a different method. Okay? Now, that's not going to often be the case. Most of the time, they're going to factor. Okay? So let's try number 3 here. So again, my a value, my number in front of the squared term is 1. So I'm just going to go after factoring this. So b and b, factors of 7 that add up to 8. So that must be 7 and 1. Okay? Now that 7 and 1 have to give me a positive 8 when they're together. So that means they must both be pluses. Okay? Now, I think I can skip most of this step up here because all we do to move this to the other side of the equation is we switch the sign. So this is going to be b equals 7 and negative 1. So I kind of shortcut it there. Okay? Negative 7 and negative 1. Be careful with your signs. Okay? Now, ones like this tend to mess people up. If there's nothing in front of a variable, we know it's a 1. Again, our a value is 1. So we got n and n, factors of 56 that subtract to give me 1. So that must be 7 and 8. Okay, and I need a negative 1 out of it, so it must be negative 8 and positive 7. Okay, negative 8 plus positive 7 is negative 1. So my n would be, my zeros of the function would be, again, switch the sign. -7, or +8. Okay, not too bad. All right, the next one, gonna get a little tougher here. We now have a value in the A spot here. First thing I want to look at is, can I divide everything by that value? And in this case, yes. So I'm going to divide everything by that value. Okay, squared. 22 divided by 2 is 11. Okay. 60 divided by 2 is 15. Now I can factor that easy enough. Keep dragging that 2 along. I've got K and K. Factors of 15 that add up to 11. Factors of 15 that add up to 11. So I'm thinking 3 and 5, that's 8. 1 and, oh no, what am I doing? 60 divided by 2 is 30, not 15. I'm losing my mind. Yep. Okay, so factors of 30 that add up to 11, so that's 6 and 5. So 6 and 5. Now they got to give me a positive 11 together, so it must be +6 +5. Okay? All right, let's see if I do better on this next one. Okay? All right, so I have an A value. Can I divide everything by 4? And in fact, yes, I can. So I've got 4 v squared minus 4 divided by 4 is 1v minus 2 equals 0. So I've got 4 v and v. Factors of 2 that subtract to 1. Now be careful there. 2 times 1 is 2. If I subtract them, I get 1. Now I need that to be a -1, so I'm going to make it -2, +1. So my zeros are, again, just switch your signs because there's nothing in front of the variable. +2 or -1. All right, back here on problem 5, I forgot to finish that one. I'm going to catch it up. So switch my signs again to find the zeros. So -6 and -5. All right, these last 3 are a little bit different, a little tougher. Okay. We have an A value, but I can't divide all of these by 2. So that creates a problem. So I like to undo these using the box method. Okay, so in these 2 diagonal boxes, I'm going to put the first term, 2v squared, and the last term. Okay? Now, I'm going to take the first term times the last term. So 2 times 5 is 10. So now I need factors of 10 that give me a positive 11. Okay? And in this case, my factors of 10 that give me a positive 11 must be 10 and 1. Doesn't matter which place I put them in. So 10v and 1v. Either one is okay. Okay? So now I'm going to just factor. So going sideways, I can take a v out of both of those. Going sideways on the bottom row, I can divide both of those by 5. And it'd be a positive 5. Going up and down now, I can divide 2 and 10 by 2. And I can take a v out. Going up and down here, I can't take anything out of that, so I've got to take out a 1. Okay, so my answers then are v plus 5 and 2v plus 1 equals 0. Well, the v plus 5, that's easy. So v equals -5, just switch the sign. 2v plus 1's a little tougher. I may have to write that out. I'll subtract the 1. 2v equals -1, and then I'll divide by 2. So v equals -1/2. There's my 2 answers on that one. Okay? Let's try that again. Okay? So I should have a squared there. Okay? I can't divide everything by 3, so I know I can't just take out a common factor. So I'm going to undo the box method. That's my factoring choice here. So 3p squared goes in the first box, negative 5 goes in the second box. Now that negative 5 tells me when I get my factors, one's going to be a plus and one's going to be a minus. Okay? I just want to keep that in the back of my head for a minute. All right, so multiply a times c. So 3 times 15 is negative, or 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Okay? So I need factors of negative 15 that give me a negative 2. Okay? Or subtract to give me 2. So that must be 3 and 5. So 3p and 5p. Now, if I want it to be negative 2, that must mean the 5 is negative. Okay? All right, so now I just factor sideways. So going sideways on this top row, I can take out a p. Sideways on the bottom row, I can't take out anything, so I have to take out a positive 1. Okay, going up and down, I can take out a 3p on the first column. Up and down on the second column, I can take out a negative 5. Okay, so my factors are p plus 1 and 3p minus 5. Okay, so the p plus 1, that's pretty easy. That's p equals negative 1. This 3p minus 5 is a little tougher. I got to work that out, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides. 3p equals 5, so divide by 3. P's by itself, I got 5/3. Okay? All right, last one we're going to do together here. Okay? Again, I can't divide everything by a 3, so that tells me I'm going to use the box method to undo it. So 3n squared in the first box, positive 4 in the bottom corner. Okay? A times c, so that's going to give me 12. Okay? Now I need factors of 12 that add up to negative 8. Well, the factors of 12 that add up to 8 are 6 and 2, but if I need them to be negative 8, they must both be negatives. Okay? So I'm going to put my n's on there. That diagonal is always going to have your variable on it with it. Now I just factor sideways. Okay? So on the first column, I can take out an n, or on the first row, I mean. The bottom row, I can take out a 2. And it'd be, since this is a negative, I'm going to take out a negative 2. Okay? Going up and down, I can take out a 3n. And on this column, I can take out, since that's a negative 2 up there, I'm going to take out a negative 2. Okay? Whatever sign on this diagonal you have in each box, that tells you what the sign is you're taking out. All right, so I'm down to n minus 2 times 3n minus 2 equals 0. n minus 2, that's the easy one. n equals positive 2. 3n minus 2 equals 0, so we'll solve that. Plus 2. 3n equals 2, divide by 2. Or divide by 3. What am I doing? 3's cancel. N equals 2/3. There's my zeros. All right, we got some practice problems on there for you. Give those a shot. Let me know if you have any problems. Have a great day.